Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. Somewhere in that camper is my wife, Marissa. We've spent the last 3 years traveling around the US, Canada, and Baja, Mexico. Today, we are going to be doing a massive upgrade to our electrical system. We are going to be taking it from looking like this to looking like this. Just kidding, we'll show you that later. We are going from 200 amp hours of lithium batteries to 410 amp hours of beautiful lithium power. This isn't a paid ad. Redodo is not giving me money to make this video. They did, however, send me the battery so that I could test it out and review it for you guys so that you can determine whether Redodo is a great option for you, like I think it will be for us. So if you didn't know this, we keep our batteries actually behind this 28-inch TV. We currently have 200 watts of lithium batteries that we bought from Battleborn about 4 years ago, and they've certainly served us well. We've never had any problems with them, but they are very expensive, and they also didn't offer any kind of a battery with the same amount of amp hours for an equivalent amount of square inches like the Redodo happens to have. For most people, 200 amp hours would be enough. But because we have Starlink and we use a laptop a lot, we need more power, baby. More power, baby! When we bought our Battleborn batteries about 4 years ago, it was long before the time of self-heating batteries, so I had to figure out a way to keep these batteries warm when we would go and do winter camping, snowboarding, and skiing in the mountains in the Northeast. So the plan became to bring them inside, and that simultaneously went along with removing the microwave that used to be right here. I will warn you ahead of time, I am not an electrician, so this electrical compartment looks like it was done by an amateur, because it was. That's pretty nifty, isn't it, right? This whole little nook comes out, and then we have full access to all our electrical stuff. I warned you that it's a mess in here. So, two 100 amp hour Battleborn batteries, a Renogy 50 amp DC to DC MPPT solar controller combination, bus bars here. We got positive, negative, fuses, circuit breakers for solar controllers, circuit breaker for the inverter, which is on the other side of this wall here. So the plan is we're going to take out these two 100 amp hour batteries. We're going to reuse the bases and modify them in order to work. Then we're going to also remove the DC to DC charger because I don't know exactly how we're going to fit that in here. I think the plan is to put a piece of plywood up against that wall where I've added insulation and then remount the DC to DC charger up there. Cue the montage of me ripping all this stuff out.
I was cleaning these off because, of course, there was a little bit of baking grease on them from under the stovetop. And as Eric is doing this project, I'm just looking at him going, wow, this looks like a lot of work. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it to the gym tomorrow. I might just have to get my workout on here in the morning. Good luck.
Got bacon fat? Ugh.
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Also, I hope you just saw that nut fall. Gotta pick that one up. So the plan that I got is to notch each one of these battery caps and battery bases to be the width of these batteries, and that way we can hopefully repurpose these and use them again. So in between my two scribe lines that I just made, and then I'm just going to take my grinder and I'm going to cut right across here so that when I rotate it around, this end will hold the corner of the battery, and then this will sit nice and flush, and then we'll be able to do the whole battery mounting all over again. Gonna do the same exact thing with the base in order to make it fit the battery perfectly nicely. Got both of those battery trays cut down and gonna take a measurement here of the battery before we go and mount those inside. 19 inches for the base. Back inside the camper here, got my trays. Plan is to mount these down here and measure this out to where we have 19 inches of space. Just barely gonna fit, but it's gonna fit. So after a little bit of thought, I don't think I'll be able to get the battery in there once I mount that second base down. So it's time to do the deed and bring in the big 82-pound battery. Oh, not lifting it any further up in the air than I have to. This thing is super heavy. I would say that fits like a glove. Pretty impressive that you can fit 410 amp hours into about the same amount of square footage that I once had 200 amp hours in. Only compromise is having to relocate a DC to DC charger. One interesting thing I learned when researching the Redodo battery before considering it was that when you look at Amazon reviews, it has very, very similar reviews as Battleborn batteries. The number of one-star complaints are very similar. The reasons for the one-star complaints are usually pretty trivial, but otherwise I believe one was a 4.6 and one was a 4.7. When you're thinking about lithium batteries these days, pretty reasonable to consider that you could buy a 100 amp hour Redodo for, I believe, $249 or $229 compared to Battleborn at, I think they're over $1,000 at this point. So lithium batteries have come a long way. I'm not saying that a Redodo is going to be perfectly comparable to a Battleborn, but if you're really considering another round of deep cycle batteries or making the jump to lithium, a Redodo would be a great option for you. We're starting to near the end of this process here, getting these little battery covers, retainers that I made, fabricated, changed, putting them on. Man, those are gonna be sweet. That one there. I ordered some extra long battery straps off of Amazon because I didn't actually originally anticipate this whole battery tray thing happening, but spur of the moment while doing the work and filming here, you guys let me know, do you think that this is gonna work, or do you think I should be putting in battery straps in order to corral this 82+ pound battery in here? When I originally brought my batteries inside, I had to change up where the battery cable went and how it led to the battery switch, which is on the outside of the camper. Now, because I've changed the orientation of the batteries, this cable is too short. I actually have it run through the floor of the camper, which I drilled a hole in years ago. And so we're gonna have to pull this bad boy out, have another piece of cable that we're gonna make the right length that we need, and we're gonna slip it on back in here. So it looks like I actually used my brain for once when I put that wire in there years ago and left myself a little bit of extra room. Let's go back inside and see if we have enough so that we don't have to reroute this power cord or replace it with a new one that's longer. So I actually got our assistant Marissa inside ready to pull on this cord so that we can see if we have enough length. This would be a sweet time saver if I don't have to deal with replacing this power cord or this positive cable. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm very confident this is gonna make it. So all we have left to do is hook up a bunch of cables here, and really not even that many. This positive back to this bus bar, this positive to the battery, one negative to the bus bar, and then ground to the battery. Let's get some power going in this place. It's been a few days, but welcome back to our fully completed, beautiful, cleaned up electrical system. Let me show you guys what we've done since I picked up the camera last. If you remember from before, these distribution blocks that are here were all going horizontal and super ugly and unorganized. Now I've added this piece of plywood in the back, and I've got all of my distribution blocks going super nicely in an organized manner from top to bottom. Everything is cleanly zip tied in here. We've got our Redodo battery. It's been about a week since we've had it, and it's been working super well for us. There is a discount code in our description if you want to get one for yourself. I couldn't be happier with how this whole battery setup looks and fits. To get 410 amp hours in the same space that we had 200 amp hours of battery before is incredibly impressive. The only thing we had to do is relocate our DC to DC charger outside, which I'm going to show you guys next. So in the past, we had our diesel heater fuel tank in this compartment here, which is also the same as this wing door here. But I done got rid of that. It's still pretty dirty in here, but let me show you inside how we got it set up. So we've got our battery cables that are coming off of the truck's batteries, all the way along the frame of the truck, over the flatbed, and into this what was originally designed to be a generator compartment. Big old Anderson connection here, positive lead, negative lead leading to the DC to DC charger, and then these are the leads headed up to the battery or to the distribution blocks before going to the battery. Then we got our battery switch here that connects to just the camper side of things. I need to add a battery switch on the distribution block side of things so that we can control the inverter, all that power, everything that feeds to those distribution blocks. I want to be able to have on its own massive power switch. Starting to rain out here. I'll get that compartment cleaned up soon in terms of the wiring so that it looks as good as the inside, but in the meantime, be sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications. Thanks to Redodo for making this video possible by donating the battery to us. We look forward to continuing to put to good use. Bye.